Homework out.
You got it open.
A little warm up for you.
Okay, guys, what's different about this warm up compared to the homework last night? We have to do what? Go ahead, Matt. Well, we're going to use elimination, but what do we have to do? Why is this harder than the ones last night? Yes. We have to change both of them, don't we? Can't just change one. So since we're doing this together, why don't we change the x? What can I change the x to cancel out? What's the smallest one I can do? Come on, guys. Let's start thinking, participating. The same 2 or 3 people are raising their hand. We need to make popsicle sticks and just start drawing names. Because it's just the same 2 or 3 people. Yeah, go ahead, Luca. Good job. Let's make one negative 18, one positive 18. Let's make this negative 18. What am I going to multiply 9 by to get to negative 18? Not 2. Okay, so let's multiply the top by negative 2. So I want to make this positive 18. What am I going to multiply the bottom by? 3. Okay, go ahead. Change both of them. Change both. See what you get. Logan, change the top equation for me if I multiply anything by negative 2. What'd you get?
Negative 18x plus 30y equals negative 48.
Thank you. Thank you. Makana, multiply everything by 3 on the bottom, please.
3 times 6 is 18x minus 30y equals 48.
And what did that do, guys? This is nice because what happened to everything? Everything got canceled. Right? Matt.
I think she means negative 48 since that's positive for you.
Oh, you're right. Good catch. So does everything cancel out now? No. This side does. But what's negative 48 plus negative 48? Negative 96. So is this true or false? So what do I write besides false? No. What does that mean? What does this mean? No solution with what we've been talking about, Mary. There is no solution. Right, but what does that mean for lines? It's kind of big. We understand this. Huh? The lines are parallel, so they do not and never will touch. That's why there's no solution. Yep, that's kind of big. Okay, take a second, check your homework. And I'll give you a second, and we'll go over the homework. I thought this was about as easy as homework as we could get. It's kind of like playing Mr. Westfall and ping pong. I'm just kidding, man.
How dare you?
How dare you? We need to play. Does anybody think they're good in ping pong? Zach? Braden?
Zach versus you two.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might be too easy for us.
Yeah, too easy.
I think so.
I don't know if they'd score.
Mm.
They probably would, but
I'd probably miss a shot once. Maybe more than that.
all right. You about ready to go over these? Okay, we didn't have to do one, right? Okay, before I set this up mathematically, let's look at it logically. Do I have the same slope? Okay, so I know it's either no solution or infinite solution because the slopes are the same. Are my y-intercepts the same? So what's that mean? The lines are the same or parallel?
Parallel.
So what's that mean if they're parallel?
No solution.
Good job. Guys, this is going to be a no solution. Okay? But now, let's show it mathematically. This is set up for substitution. I want to put this right there for this y. Okay? And then when I do, look what happens. I'm just going to write it. I got negative 6x minus 8, which is this there, equals negative 6x plus 8. I would not add 6x to both sides. Bless you. Wouldn't that cancel right there? Just adding 6x to both sides. I'm left with this equals that. And we know that's false. There's my no solution. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, look at 3. Now, guys, it does not get any easier than this. Everything is set up for what? Everything cancels. I'm left with this. You have to do literally no work on that. 0 equals 0. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
Smart, I get so tired looking at you. You're like, what, am I wrong? You're barely awake every day. Are you okay? Okay. I'm not saying your eyes weren't open. Is this true or false, Samara? So what's my answer? Mm-mm. And this is what you need to have on your paper. Infinite solutions. Okay? Same thing here. Everything's set up. Cancel, cancel, 0. But what's left over here? Okay, don't look at, they're not opposite, they're the same sign. Okay, it's kind of like the one we just did. So is this true, Alexa? So what do you do, Alexis? What do we got? It's no solution. So what's that mean? No solution. The lines are parallel. Good job. Okay, now we got to do a little work on 5 and 6. Let's do one of them. You want to do 5 or 6? You guys see the homework there? You guys pick it, 5 or 6. You want to do 6? All right. And what was this, by the way? If I multiply by 2, wouldn't everything cancel out? Wouldn't I get 0 equals 0 on this one? Okay, now, what am I going to multiply the bottom one by? 5. So that would be negative 15x plus 5 plus 20. What happens? Get the same thing. 0 equals 0. What's that? Infinite solutions, because that's true. All right, good. Good. Matt, you want to collect those gold papers? Guys, pass them over to Matt, please. Here we go. So Brock is definitely gone to Gleno. Oh. Okay. Guys, what's an inequality? Zach?
Greater than or equal to or less than.
Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, right? Okay, here's the difference. Here's the difference of what we're dealing. If I have this, whoops, 3 equals 7. What's my answer here? What's my answer here?
4.
X equals 4. How many answers can I get for that problem? Right? What's the answer to this problem? No. That's my answer. But how many? What does that represent?
X is less than 4.
What's that represent? Well, how many answers do I have? I can put infinite numbers in there, right? This is my answer, but that represents what? An infinite amount of numbers. Do you guys make sense? So same thing with graphing these days. It's going to be a little different, okay? All right. So the first part here, all we're doing is we're going to say, okay, is this point part of this solution? Okay, so what do we have to do? What do we have to do to check it? Braden?
On the X and Y.
No. That's yes, Sabrina.
You want to put the -2 for the X.
Guys, don't we plug in and see if it's true? Right? What's my Y? 2 times X. What's my X? Okay, finish it. See if it's true or false. See if this is a solution or no solution. Liv, what'd you get on the, what's my inequality statement? 4 is what? Okay, Liv. True or false? So what do you think this is telling us then? -2, 4 is what? Not a solution to this inequality. So put not a solution. It'll make a little more sense when we graph. Basically, when I graph this inequality, this point right here, -2, 4, will not be in the solution set. That's what it's saying here, okay? All right, let's try the next one. Okay, you guys plug in. I'll just kind of plug it in and see what you guys think. Finish it, get your inequality. Joe, what's my final inequality? 5 is what?
5 less than equal to
No, there's no equal to. It's just 5 is less than what?
5.
Is that true? 5 is less than 5?
No.
No. There's no or equal to. So we got to be careful there. So this is false. So this means not a solution. Whoops. That's not a solution, okay? Now, What's the difference of this one and the one we just did? I think Joe might have been looking at that one. Or equal to. That's going to change things, isn't it? So I got 5 is less than or equal to 4 plus 1. 5 is less than or equal to 5. Now, Jill, this would be what, guys? This is true. So what's that mean? This is a solution. A solution. Notice it's not the solution because that means there's only one. It's a solution. It's one of infinite ones, okay? Do you guys have another one? One more? Okay. Why don't you guys try this one? Whoa, whoa. Nelly, Nelly, Nelly. Dorian, what are you thinking here? What's your final inequality?
3 is less than or equal to 6.
True?
Yes.
So what's that mean?
It is a solution.
Is a solution. Is a solution. Okay? All right. Let's get on to the good stuff. All right. You guys, it'll be easier to show you when we graph these, but okay, let's look at what this is saying. First of all, there's 2 types of lines we're going to have. Solid or dashed. Okay? Solid or dashed. If it's a solid line, it's or equal to. If it's a dotted line, there's no or equal to. It's just going to be less than or greater than. Okay? Now, if it's shaded above the line, and I'll show you, it'll be easier when we look at each problem. It means greater than. If it's below this, so this will be greater than or what? Equal to because it's a solid line. This would be what? Since it's below the line. Just less than. Okay? So that's what that means. You can see it there. Okay? It's a little easier just when we do the problems. Okay, I think does it say anything down here? Yeah, right here. Okay, the first thing we have to do when we're going to graph these inequalities, just like when we graph lines, guys, there's really no difference except the line that's going to be shaded. We have to solve for y. We have to put it in slope-intercept form. And then we have to determine if the boundary is going to be solid, a solid line, or a dashed line. And then we have to decide, are we going to shade above or below the line? Okay? So it's a little more involved here. So please pay attention. I don't think it's that bad. Okay, step 1, solve for y. Do I have to do that? Matthew? Do I have to do step 1?
No.
Why?
Wait, actually,
What's step 1 say? We just read it.
solve the equation for y. So yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, you need to solve the equation for y.
It's already solved for y.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. It's already solved for y. Step 1's done for us. Right? Okay, now, before I do anything, let's determine what kind of line is it going to be. Is this going to be a solid line or a dashed line? Raise your hand if you know. Solid or dashed? Yes, sir.
Solid.
Why?
Because it's less than or equal to.
Or equal to, right? Okay, solid line. You need to write this. Solid line. Especially just starting these out. Now, am I going to shave above or below the line? Leah.
Below,
Why? I agree with you, Leah.
because it's the inequality sign is less, or y is less than.
It's just less than.
So,
Okay, so we're going to shade below. Shade below. Now, guys, what's my slope? 2. What's my y-intercept? How do I write it? Okay. So how do I graph this? Okay, that's not going away. We've been working on graphing for a long time. Now we're just graphing inequalities. Okay. Where do I start? Where do I start? Alexis? -3, my y-intercept. Nice job. 0, -3. What is my slope, Mary?
2 over 1.
Okay, so tell me what to do, Mary.
We go up 2 over 1.
Over doesn't matter to me. Doesn't mean anything to me. Because I can go left or right.
2 to the right.
Keep going. Up 2,
2 and then right 1.
up 2, right 1. Now, since these are inequalities, I want to cover as much as the graph as I can. I can also go down 2, left 1. Now, solid line or dashed line. This is important. Okay, we already determined that, right? Draw a solid line. It's not a great line. I apologize to everybody. Now I want to talk about what that means here in a second after we graph it. Now, the line is slanted, going up to the right. Now, above this line, it's kind of common sense, right? Is it going to be here in spot 1 or spot 2 is above the line? 1 is above. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to highlight over here. Guys, it doesn't have to be every section. You know what I'm saying? If I have a pencil and I'm doing it, it can be, you're not doing it with a thick highlighter on just shade that part over there. Okay?
Yeah, I remember when I did this, like way back in high school. Sometimes when the lines are steep, it's kind of like some people get confused about what's above. So here's a real easy way to do it. All right. If you pick an X value, like pick 2, you see the point on the line? If I go above it, wouldn't that be above it? Wouldn't that be above it? Wouldn't that be above it? If I picked 1, wouldn't that be above it? And when you end up going above it at every X value, do you see how you end up shading that area? So how many of you look at it and are like, well, it's to the left of the line? How many of you would say it's to the left of the line? See, don't think that way. It's above, okay? For any point on this graph, it's above. Any point on the graph, it's above. Do you see what I'm talking about there? I remember getting confused by that, okay? Because they always said above the line, and I was looking left or right of it, all right? So any point, shade above, or if it's less than, below.
Wouldn't we be shading below? It says shade below.
Oh, it does say less than.
It does shade below. And I even wrote shade below. Okay, so we want to do opposite of what we just did, guys. Okay? That's why we want to do that.
I missed it too.
Good catch, man.
Logan, do you want to teach tomorrow?
Whoa, we don't want that.
No.
Okay, guys, it should have been over here. Good catch. It should have been over here. Sorry about that. Should have been below. Now, if this was a quiz and we would have caught it, what I was going to show you, I always like to go 0, 0 because it's easy to plug in, right? Should 0, 0 be true or false if I shaded the right spot here? Is 0, 0 a solution to this? Where's 0, 0 at, guys? Is that a solution to this? No. Let's plug it in. What's 2 times 0?
0.
What's 0 minus 3? Is 0 less than or equal to negative 3? No, 0 is greater than any negative number. So this is false. And that should not be in our shaded area. It's not. Guys, any point over here in the shaded area, look at all these points. I could pick any of these points over here, and they would be true in that inequality. They would be true. Okay? All right, now we got to do some work. Okay, is this solved for y? No, we need to solve it for y. Okay, what's my first step? I don't want to do solid dash yet until I solve it for y. Go ahead.
Subtract 5x.
Nice job. I want to subtract 5x. Mr. Westfall, turn the reins over to you anytime you want.
Yep.
Okay, so I got this. Everybody with me? Now what do we do? Divide by what, Bray?
2.
For the love of this green earth, what am I going to, is my slope going to be negative 2.5? Or negative 2 point, what would that be? Would it? No, leave it that way. Leave it. We talked about that in reduced fraction. But what's my y-intercept? That's my equation. Now let's talk about what kind of line is it. Okay? Okay, what kind of line is it? Solid or dot? Dash line. Come on. Dash line, right? Above or below the line, Liv? Shade. Now we're going above. Shade above. Okay, what's my slope? What's my slope, guys? What's my y-intercept? 0, negative 4. So go to 0, negative 4. How do I put a negative 5/2 slope on it? Con?
Go down maybe. You go down 5. And you go right to
Or you can do what?
up 5 and up 2.
What kind of line is it? Dash line. Oh, I was going to tell you. I apologize. Hold on a second, guys. Just eyes up here a second. This was a solid line, right? What that means is any point on that line, remember it's or equal to, right? Any point on that line or below that line would be a solution. So solid line, on the line are solutions. Now, dash lines, any point on that line are not solutions. That's the difference between a solid and a dash line. Okay? All right, now, am I going shade above or below? Shade above. Now, where's above here? Like Mr. Westfall said, what's my x value? Negative 2? Where's above there? Which way? Wouldn't it be this way? This way. This way. So it's really this way, guys.
It's up and down.
are you doing the Y or the up and down, right? The X values, if this is the X value -2, are you doing Y values?
Straight up. Yep, straight up.
Just going up from that. Okay, but it's over here on this side. So it's over here. So guys, would 0, 0 be in the solution set here? Yeah, and if I plug 0, 0 in here, guys, think about it. Even the original one, you can just plug it in right here. What's 5 times 0? What's 2 times 0? Is 0 greater than -8?
Yes.
And it would be in the 0, 0 is in the solution set. Yep.
When we're solving these, what are some things we should be careful about when we're solving for y? When we have inequalities, what do we need to be careful of?
Multiplying or dividing by a negative.
Yeah, when you multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality sign has to do what? Switch. Be careful. All right. So when we go to solve this one for y, would you guys add y over, or would you subtract 4x and then subtract 2? How many of you would add y over first? How many of you would subtract 4x and then subtract 2 and then divide by -1? Do you see even in my description how that's 3 steps? So you would subtract 4x, subtract 2, and then divide by a -1. Versus option 1, add y to both sides. Do you hear what I'm talking about? So just take a minute and think about that. If I add y to both sides, isn't that 4x plus 2 is less than or equal to y? Hey, Mr. Parker, did you mark Gavin absent? I don't know if I told you he was outside. He was out taking a exam. Okay.
Hello.
Do you agree this is the same as writing y is, how would you read this? Greater than or equal to 4x plus 2. Do you agree? Okay.
Okay.
Do you all agree we have it solved for y?
Hallway, I marked them in, I'm going to change it right now.
Say it again.
Oh, never mind.
Now, what if we would have
I
solved,
don't know, Gavin's here right now.
what if we would have subtracted 4x, subtracted 2?
Yeah, he was in your second period. He missed
It's my fault. I should have sent her an email, second period.
You're welcome. Bye. And he's here now. Okay, bye. Okay, thanks.
Now, if you would have done it the other way, just be careful. Do you agree you would have had to subtract 4x, subtract 2, and you'd have -y is less than or equal to -4x minus 2. You'd still have to divide by a -1, and then you would have to switch the sign. Do you agree? Do you see how that's more work? Now, it's not wrong, it's just more work. All right? So I probably would have just added y to both sides and rewrote it. Just reverse, write y first. It's easier to write y first. Now, another thing to be careful of. If you didn't write y first, like this right here, I'm nervous you would shade the wrong part of the graph. Okay? So let's go ahead and solve it, and we'll see what we're talking about. First of all, the line we graph, is it going to be solid or dashed? Solid, very good, because of the equal to. So let's write the slope and the y-intercept. Makana, what's the slope of this line? 4. And Ethan, what's the y-intercept of this line?
0, 2.
0, 2. Good. Well, so let's plot the point 0, 2. And then use the slope of 4 over 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. So our line is going to be solid. Solid line. Logan, the shading master. I always thought you were a little shady. Should we shade above or below?
Below.
Y is greater than or equal to 4x plus 2. Above. It's okay. I'll give you another chance later. We'll still be the shading master. All right. So see this point right here? See this point right here? Shade above. See this point over here? Shade above. And if you do that enough, you're going to eventually just shade in that whole entire region right there. Now, the line stops going down there, but again, we don't, like Mr. Parker said, you don't have to shade. If you just take your pencil and go like this, dark enough we can see it, but lightly, so if you have to erase it, you can. That's okay. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? This, on a quiz or your homework, would probably be good enough. Okay? As long as you mark your line as solid.
Oh, Mr. Westphal, do you
Yes.
know a friend of mine collects blunt pencils?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
I just find it kind of pointless.
But that was
You get out there.
that's January 4th. Bad joke.
And there's 180 of
I'm
those
so good.
every day, one every day.
I got it yesterday.
Oh, did anybody get the why we have a leap year?
No.
No.
It's because the Earth,
Earth what?
the sun's rotation. I explained it yesterday.
The sun's
And-
rotation.
Go
And
with
Sun-
that
it.
February.
Sun doesn't
it
rotate.
was the rotation of the orbit, whatever.
Okay.
And the
How long is the Earth's orbit? How long does it take?
the Earth's orbit.
Correct. You're missing a very important piece of information.
February has 28 days.
How long does it take the Earth to orbit the Sun?
Oh, 24 hours.
What?
Wait,
What?
what?
I'm gonna bring in one of those like dioramas, whatever they're called.
Sorry.
Somebody besides Aaliyah talk.
No.
How long does it take the Earth to orbit the Sun?
Isn't it double it? Like it's like 600. Double it.
I don't know.
164.
A year.
300.
It's a year.
165.
Close.
In the fourth.
60.
There you
Very
go.
good. It takes 365.25
Oh my god.
days to orbit the Sun. It's not exactly 365.
Did I win then?
Then why don't
No.
we add like an hour?
Technically, I won.
No, a day every 4 years. That's
Okay. So there's two parts to this,
balance
Aaliyah.
it out.
Aaliyah. The Earth goes like this every 24 hours. But as it's doing this, it's going around the Sun.
Yeah.
It takes 365.25 days to get back to here. So if you added an hour to the day, that would only change this part of it.
Why can't we just take away?
24 hours.
If we said, if our calendar, if we did not have leap year, then every 4 years we'd be off by another day, another day, another day, another day, another day. And then our winter would eventually turn into our springtime. Okay? And then all the seasons would be off.
Science and math.
What?
Wow.
I understand that.
Why would our C?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. She
Yeah.
said science and math.
In math.
I just said and.
Well, it's
Okay,
technically-
she said 24 hours.
Yeah.
over the
Well,
month.
technically it is math.
Absolutely. I mean, it's actually it's the remainder portion. It's the 1/4, 365 days and a fourth of a day. That every 4 years you miss out. I mean, we would actually be off by a day, and then another 4 years off by 2 days, off by 3 days, off by 4 days. Before you know it, we'd be a month off, and then all the seasons would be messed up. Write an inequality to represent the graph. All right. Well, last problem for today. I would write y. And am I going to put greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, just greater than, just less than? Luca, what do you think? Y is, I agree. Y is greater than. And then the next part is just like we write any old line. We need a slope, we need a y-intercept. Mary, what's my y-intercept?
-1.
Where does this dashed line cross the y-axis? Okay.
I was looking at the wrong line. 1.
0, 1. So the 1 goes here. I'm just filling in the blanks. It's y equals mx plus b, right? In this case, it's y is less than mx plus b. And what's my m, Corbin? What's my slope? Well, you're going to have to find 2 points that are on nice whole corners of a box, like there and maybe there. Would you agree, Corbin?
Yeah.
And to go from there to there, I have to go up 1, 2, 3. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is 3/4. That's. I'm gonna redo that. I didn't like how that turned out. 3/4 x plus 1 is the inequality that I would write here. Make sense? All right, our homework for tonight. 3 through 11 odd, 21 through 23, 33, 34. I'll put that up here. So you guys didn't know that there were actually 365.25 days in a year?
I said it yesterday.
Did you? I didn't hear you.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I don't know about that. I was listening pretty intently.
Not to me.